Hi, I'm Andre. What does my social advocacy look like? My social advocacy looks like bringing awareness to populations that often are misunderstood, bringing teaching, bringing my experiences to the classrooms, and bring that experiential learning to students who are about to go out in the fields and work with populations like ex-offenders and gang members, and also giving awareness to things that mean the most to me, like vitiligo, and working with individuals who are characteristically unique and talking about these issues and being able to teach other counselors and trainings how to work with individuals from that population. So that's what my social advocacy looks like.
What does my advocacy look like? Well, it is multidisciplinary. As a counselor, I provide a lot of counseling to individuals that look like me in Chicago and rural areas as well. Oftentimes, a lot of clients that really struggle with finding counselors that also have similar cultural experiences or just can't afford counseling. A lot of my clientele are individuals who are on funding for trauma, funding for a lack of funds. And so some counselors don't want to take those clients because it's not Blue Cross Blue Shield. It's not the client that's going to pay $140 for a session. But I think they deserve and need mental health services just like everybody else does. And so part of my advocacy is providing that service, providing that individual that can be representative of your culture and of other cultures and can provide a service regardless of how much it may cost. As a counselor educator, having those difficult conversations, having conversations that we need to have around competency, around advocacy, around social justice practice, and training counselors and training to be that is another form of advocacy that I truly enjoy. Even putting this video together and being a leader who serves in divisions like ICSJ is another way that I am an advocate. So that's what my advocacy looks like. What does yours look like?
Hi, my name is Ray, and advocacy to me means helping and assisting people, ensuring that their voice is generally heard, and helping and defending and protecting rights of people. What is your advocacy like?
What does my advocacy look like? My advocacy looks like challenging the status quo, asking questions about things that don't quite add up, things that don't quite make sense, things that are missing information. When people who are unheard, who are made invisible, to ask those questions that bring light to those people, to those situations, creating spaces for curiosity and consideration where a lack of consideration may have persisted beforehand. My advocacy looks like standing up and taking notice.
Very good question to ask. I think it's been something that I haven't really sat down and thought about because a lot of times as an advocate, we just do. We, send something and think about it. So thinking about it right now, as far as being an advocate, I see myself maybe knowing that somebody's walking through our door and they're not really sure maybe how to ask a question. And so I may be in a position to where I'm just walking down the hallway in my office and I see somebody walking through the door and they see that they're not sure what to do. I'll jump in and I'll say, hey, how can I help you? What do you need? To give them that face of, I get you, or I understand you, maybe because you're like, I'm gonna connect with you because you're another person of color. And so I'm just basically saying as an advocate, I wanna say, I wanna connect with you. I wanna give you that understanding that it's okay to be in this room as a student saying, I need counseling, especially if you're a person of color and you identify as a man, or a person who identifies as a woman, or someone who's asexual or non-binary. It doesn't matter. It's just I'm trying to create somewhat of a connection to say that this is okay. So to normalize that experience. So what does advocacy mean to you?
So how I advocate, certainly in several ways, but I think for me, the way I advocate that I feel most proud of is my classroom. In particular, a course that I teach an LGBTQ counseling course, and not only do we talk about obviously the LGBT community, but the intersectionality. So I think there's a lot of different angles that come into play with that course and how we advocate and get out in the community. And I provide immersion experiences in different ways that students get an idea of what advocating means.